Copyright.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Go.
Copyright 2022 by Cristie Lee Blazer. Cover and internal design by 2022 by Cristie Lee Blazer and James Runyon III. Cover illustration by James Runyon III and Cristie Lee Blazer. All rights reserved. No part of the book may be reproduced in form or any electronic or mechanical means, including information storage and retrieval system, except in case of a brief quotation embodied in a critical articles or reviews, without permission in a writing from its publisher. This book is a true story, exactly what happened to Cristie Lee Blazer in a real life from her biological mother. Any similarity to a real person, living or dead, is purely consensual or not intended, and not intended by the author. Now, Chapter 1. Rubella measles outbreak. A star means that person is still alive and respecting the person's privacy. Note, there was an epidemic of rubella measles outbreak swept throughout in the United States between 1964 through 1969, affected all nationwide college campuses. There was 11,000 pregnant women had miscarriage of their babies. There were 2,100 newborn babies died. There are 20,000 babies survived from the rubella measles after their mother contacted it by another student or airborne. Furthermore, they tested positive congenital rubella syndrome, rubella measles, after birth. There are a total of 33,100 women were pregnant during the epidemic of rubella measles. Excuse me. I am one out of the 20,000 baby survivors when my biological mother, Patsy McCoven of Vernon, Texas, had contacted the mild disease of rubella measles by other students or airborne during her first trimester of her pregnancy. When the mother is pregnant with this disease, it passes down to the baby and devastated the baby's development. In March 1967, her tested positive for congenital rubella syndrome, rubella measles, at 3 months old. Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls, Texas, was affected by epidemic of the rubella measles outbreak in between 1964 and 1969, before the vaccine came out in 1969. During the time it was announced on the news about the epidemic of rubella measles outbreak, every day all the news reporters were making announcements on TV and newspapers. People heard and reading about all the college campuses were affected with the disease. I found and read all the information about the epidemic of rubella measles on the website. It started with a booty call after Patsy McCoven, 1946-1997, was 19 years old, was 5 feet 2 inches tall, skinny woman with brown or dark brown hair, wearing 1965 women's wardrobes and wears glasses. She moved in a one-bedroom or studio apartment close to Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls, Texas, in August 1965. People were wearing 1965 wardrobes and hairstyles on college campuses and apartments. A week after A week after Patsy got all moved in and settled in her apartment, she decided to enroll her classes in the fall semester. After she finished with the classes enrollment, she went to a bookstore to get her supplies and books for her classes. When Patsy returned to her apartment building to park her car, 1965 Chevrolet Nova, she saw a young man, college student, about 6 feet tall, blonde hair, number one in the parking lot, talking to other students. He saw Patsy. He walked up to meet her after she parked her car and started talking to Patsy. They introduced themselves. Patsy got the bags out of her car. The young man helped her with the bags. As they walked upstairs, they were still having a conversation. She stopped at her apartment to get the key out of her purse to unlock the door. He's the type of man who is arrogant and likes to brag on himself, except he is a smart guy. Obviously, Patsy is friendly, outgoing, and smart woman. Interior of Patsy's apartment. They stopped at the table to drop off the bags of supplies and books. As she walked to the door, "Thank you for helping me. I really appreciate it." She closed the door and locked it. Second, they started kissing. They kissed for 15 minutes. She unbuttoned his shirt and pushed it off his shoulders, and Patsy was surprised at him. My, you're so handsome," as she rubbed all over his bare chest. He answered, "Thank you." They had a sexual relationship for 1 hour. They stopped and rested and started up the conversation for a while as he looked at the clock and jumped out of bed to get dressed. Further, he realized his clothes were in the living room. In the living room, he gathered up all his clothes to get dressed after he found all his clothes scattered all over the living room. He walked in the bedroom and to whisper to her, "I have to leave." As he leaned over, he kissed her on the cheek while she's in bed, all covered up with sheets. Exterior of the apartment. He vanished out of her apartment and showed up at his apartment at the same building. He recommended a man college student, roommate number 2, about Patsy and started a booty call. Rumor. A young man college student number 1 announced, "I met a lady named Patsy McCubbin, and she is a beautiful woman. When I had sex with her, she is a booty call. I want you to have sex with her tomorrow night. I'm going to give you her address